Today, we are diving into a very important and surprising discovery that might just change how we understand long COVID. Long COVID, the mysterious condition many of us have heard about, and some of us even know firsthand. Do you remember back in the pandemic phase during lockdown and quarantine, how most people contracted COVID 19? And after a couple of weeks, they were back to normal. But then there was another group, like millions worldwide, who didn't get that relief. They keep feeling tired, foggy, achy, and breathless for months or even years. This is what doctors call long COVID. And until now, scientists have been scratching their heads literally trying to figure out why it happens. Well, new research has uncovered tiny hidden players that might be responsible, which are microscopic blood clots and sometimes called NETs. Yes, that is the short form for neutrophil extracellular traps. But don't worry, we will unpack everything so it makes perfect sense to you. Let me start with microclots. So microclots are like tiny specks of sticky blood clumping together inside your bloodstream. These are way smaller than the clots that cause heart attacks or strokes, but big enough to block the tiniest blood vessels, cutting off oxygen to parts of your body. Think of them like traffic jams inside the narrowest lanes of your body's highways. Now multiply those traffic jams many times. That's what people with long COVID are dealing with without even realizing it. But here is the twist. These long microclots are not alone. Research teams led by scientists from South Africa and France found that these clots are literally wrapped up with sticky nets made by our own immune system. These nets or NETs are created by white blood cells called neutrophils. So normally neutrophils send out these sticky webs of DNA and enzymes to trap and kill invading germs. Pretty amazing, right? But in long COVID sufferers, these NETs hang around too long and get tangled with the microclots, stabilizing and enlarging them. So imagine a spider's web that catches harmful bugs, but instead of disappearing afterward, it stays put and traps everything, causing blockages and havoc inside your blood vessels. This web and clot combo becomes resistant to the body's natural cleanup system, letting those blockages persist for months. But why does this matter? Because these microscopic blockages could explain why people with long COVID feel brain fog, fatigue, muscle pain, and shortness of breath, that is SOB. And their blood vessels are not delivering oxygen properly, and their bodies stay inflamed and tired. Now here is another incredible part of the story. The researchers didn't just stop at finding these clots and nets. They used the cutting edge AI technology, yes, computers that learn and think basically, to examine the blood samples from long COVID patients and healthy individuals. The AI was able to spot the long COVID samples with 91% accuracy just by looking at patterns of these mysterious microclots and NETs. This means we might soon have a reliable test to diagnose long COVID, something that's been very hard until now. So if you are thinking, why is that so important? Then let me tell you that without a clear diagnosis, many people get misunderstood or dismissed when they report their symptoms. This discovery gives them scientific proof that something real is going on inside their bodies. Scientists are excited because this also opens the door to new treatments. If drugs could be developed to break down these stubborn microclots or stop the excessive production of NETs, patients might finally get relief from their prolonged suffering. And in short, what seemed like an invisible, unexplained illness may now have a visible cause under the microscope. and a future path to healing. So, next time you hear about long COVID, remember those tiny sticky clots and immune webs in the blood may be silently driving that fatigue and brain fog, making everyday life feel like an uphill battle. But thanks to this groundbreaking research, hope is on the horizon, helping millions reclaim their health and their lives. So tell us your thoughts and please like, share and subscribe to The Edge.